All right, it's time to talk about A Quiet Place. I was supposed to see it yesterday, but of course my fucking theater didn't get it until whatever. Doesn't matter. I saw it. Let's talk about it. Now, if you're here for a quick, yay or nay, you don't want to hear anything else about it. This is an absolute yay, big time, yes, go see it. Go see it in the theater. Go see it now. Get in your car. Stop playing. A little overkill. No, seriously, guys, this is excellent, and I think I'm gonna be one of many people who will be preaching to the heavens. Now, of course, we'll get the "this is overrated" people soon enough. It happens with every film that gets love like this one is about to get. But embrace the next couple days because it'll be filled with Quiet Place love and completely warranted. When I saw the trailer to this, I was, of course, intrigued, and I was excited like everyone, but I was really just kind of more curious on how it was going to be pulled off, because you're talking about a film where, just from the trailer alone, I could tell this was going to have very little dialogue, and that the majority of the film was going to be quiet. And absolutely, yes, that is exactly what it is. There is very little dialogue. Now, I could see someone thinking that this was boring. Absolutely. And I feel like they get in a place where their mind starts to get bored, and it's hard to bring them back into it. Because while I could understand being bored in the first 20 or 30 minutes of the film, I wasn't at all. I could understand that. I don't understand how you could then be bored in the final act, especially. But maybe because the characters never did anything for you. You never attached yourself to them. This is, I am a father. I've talked about this many, many times. So anytime I watch a movie about a family, especially a dad who's trying to keep his family alive, it's almost instantaneous investment. But they have to do a little more to grab me and to make me really care about all of them. And I do think that everyone in this film does an excellent job. John Krasinski, who also directed this film, is great. Emily Blunt is excellent, as always. They're a real-life couple, which I didn't even know until very recently. And one of the characters in this movie who plays their daughter is deaf in the film. And as I expected, when I went to look at it after, I wasn't surprised to find out she was actually deaf in real life. So I think that brought a real authenticity to it. And they really play her scenes well because they do something to the sound when she's on screen. And it really adds to the tension within it. If you're somebody who, like me, was a little underwhelmed by the fact that the movie It Comes at Night has no it coming at night, this is not exactly the opposite, because I don't want you to think that this is monster heavy, but I can tell you outright, we see the monsters and we see them in all of their glory. We get to see them full on. Another thing I want to address here, and the monsters are freaking awesome, by the way. Oh my God, they look fantastic. One of the coolest monsters I've seen since The Ritual, which the Ritual wasn't that long ago. But before The Ritual, I hadn't seen a cool monster on screen in a while. So we've gotten two really kick-ass monsters on screen this year. But another thing I want to talk about really quick is the PG-13 rating. I know that there's a lot of people who are, have kind of an aversion to this because of its PG-13 rating. Not only does this film not need one, but like an R rating, but there's been plenty of great movies that are PG-13 in the horror genre. So that's not a worry, but I totally understand, wanting an R rating in a horror movie. Yes, would I prefer horror movies to almost always be R? Yeah, but did this film need it, honestly, watching it? No. I don't feel like it would have added anything to the film if they threw gore and tits and cussing. It just wasn't necessary for the film in the slightest. Would I have hated it if there was more gore? Of course not. I'm a gore hound. But did it need it? Would it have enhanced the experience at all? No, not really. I mean, as I said, I would have liked it. I've been like, yeah, that was cool looking, but it didn't add anything to it. And it almost would cheapen it in a way, to be completely honest. This film relies so heavily on tension that's created through a very nifty premise. I mean, we don't, it's kind of a novelty, but we had a movie recently kind of ish like this, like Don't Breathe, where there's a blind guy, and if they make any noise in the house, he's gonna come after him. It's something like that on a much larger scale. Another thing that I was really impressed with and I was really happy about was that there wasn't a lot of exposition. There wasn't a lot of like trying to explain what happened. I think that there will be people who will nitpick the shit out of this, and they'll try to be the smart, clever people who are like, well, why didn't they just lure him in here and shoot him with a rocket launcher? Well, I can totally agree with you to an extent that I do think that I probably could come up with a solution to the problem, at least for a couple of them. Who knows how many there are out there? And if the fucking army couldn't stop them, then you probably couldn't either. But I think that I get nitpicking to an extent. And if you watch my channel enough, you know how much I nitpick things. But I nitpick playfully for the most part. Sometimes it's like, oh my God, there's too much, and I fucking lose my mind. But in a movie like this, you just have to be like, this is happening. That's it. That's it. We don't need any more explanation. Like, I don't need to know where these things came from. I don't need to know why and how and all that. That doesn't matter to the story really at all. It would just make it either convoluted or convenient or whatever, and it just would take away from, the feel of this film. Because explaining it at all, it just didn't need to be. I was really wondering if this was going to start with like day one, showing us how the outbreak happened and whatnot. No, this takes place on day 89. Like, we start and it's already well into it, which I was very happy to see, because I did not want an explanation. I want to see the downfall of society and some narration where a guy is like, in the year 2014, whatever. Like, no, I don't need that shit. So it worked really well here. And yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna chat too much about it. It's hard to talk about a movie like this without spoilers, but absolutely, this is a fantastic monster movie. There is no doubt in my mind that this will make my top 5, top 10 of the year in horror. I'd love to be wrong. I'd love for 10 other horror movies to come out that are better than this. Why not? But I don't think that's gonna happen. So guys, have you seen this yet? Are you going to see it? Are you excited? Does this sound boring to you? Because there's almost no dialogue and it's very silent almost the entire film. Yeah, I mean, I totally understand if you think that sounds boring. But anyways, if you do check it out, let me know what you thought. If you've already seen it, let me know what you thought. And I will talk to you guys down below. All right.